Now, today we're back in the special yellow Cadillac livery as we take on the Brazilian Grand Prix in today's episode of My Team Career Mode. Now, last time out, guys, we went to Mexico and the title potentially may have got decided.
Hey, just a quick one. If you've got some cash kicking around, why not invest in the corporate facility? We can always use more resource and we can be helpful in hitting your goals. Cheers.
So, last time out, as I mentioned, the title kind of got decided a little bit, and it was down to tyre overheating. We could not compete with the AI. Simple as that. They just had no tyre overheating trouble, and we did put up an insane fight, to be fair, and right towards the end, we might have just saved it. So if you want to go check it out, guys, link in the top right. In the meantime, today we're doing some activities real quick for today's sprint weekend episode at Brazil. The main focus here is to just basically try and keep team morale high and also keep our drivers focused as high as possible, as that helps the AI driver quite a bit. And yeah, with that done out the way, we can push on and move on to this weekend. We're currently in a rivalry with McLaren in the Constructors' Championship and an actual in-game rivalry as well. And yeah, quite a lot going on. Now, we're going to have some more updates coming up as we skip ahead on the timeline. We do have a quick department event for corporate. Now, for this one, a bit like the recent ones we've had, they're not very major. It's basically an environmental summit. If we attend, it's going to cost us 250 R&D points, and then if we decline, there'll be some sort of, long-term effect. So for me, right now, 250 resource points is nothing, so we'll go ahead, attend, keep the team image high, and not drop any morale in the team anywhere. So with that out of the way, we can now jump into the weekend, and I've mentioned it before, we're going to take priority and we're going to use Pierre Gasly again because he's the one who's closest in the Drivers' Championship, and if we want to fight, this weekend is the one. Now, we have rain forecast for the back end of the race, the main event, longer race at the end. The rest of the weekend seems to be dry, and then in terms of the performance chart, everyone now has maxed out. So we are level with Red Bull, it seems. McLaren and Ferrari have a bit more of an edge heading into this kind of close out of the season. I did have a little look at the components, and the one that was most warm was the ICE, the first one, but I opted to not change it. We're going to run with this for the weekend, and then we'll change it for the final 3 rounds. And then in the championship, you can see Lando has a significant lead. Now, we'll see if he loses that lead and crumbles like in real life. I don't see it happening. But the real fight here is the Constructors. We are equal on points with McLaren and 20 points behind Ferrari. That's how close it is between the 3 teams. So this one's going to be red hot heading into a sprint weekend. So it's going to be all hands on deck, and we're going to need every single point we can fight for this weekend. So yeah, in terms of the drivers, simply put, we need to beat Lando to try and stay within a chance of mathematically being in the fight for the final 3 rounds after this one. Now, as things stand, heading into this weekend, if you include this episode, the sprint and the main race, we have 4 races to go, which is 100 points, plus 2 sprints, which is 16. So there is 116 points up for grabs in play, still to play for. But we're going to see after. Now, we look at the data from practice. Tyre wear is about 1.11% per lap. Fuel burn is 1.16. So overall, not bad. We did find a bit more pace on the last lap, but we kind of managed to just keep the rear tyre overheating, I'd say, under control a little bit, which we were struggling with. Russell finishes top. We finish in P2 with Pierre Gasly. And Carlos Sainz, P3 on the hard compound tyre. Very, very encouraging time in the practice session. Both cars in the top 3. So that's a really good start to the weekend. So yeah, we're going to bag up our usual 225 R&D points and keep it moving. And we're going to jump into the first sprint portion of the weekend, starting out with the sprint shootout.
It's a Saturday showdown. Anyone fancy some hot laps around Interlagos? It's qualifying day here for the Sao Paulo Grand Prix.
So the rain's easing off a bit, but the track is still going to be wet for a while. Be careful. Inters look like the best tyre for now.
So the sprint is going to be contested in wet conditions. Now this, of course, you never get the sprint shootout in the forecast at the start of the weekend in the kind of weather forecast page on your laptop. But yeah, we had some rain, and my run plan for this one, basically because it's going to stay wet the entire session, was to use one set of tyres and just keep doing laps. As the track evolves, you kind of gain more confidence. Now, you saw there we ran a bit deep in the last corner, so that is going to really hurt our final sector. We go P3, half a second behind Max Verstappen, who currently leads the way, and championship leader Lando Norris is in P2. We went again though for another lap. We were down by about 0.2 through the center S, but eventually we found some time through the middle, and then especially the last sector, and we're going to basically recover that half a second that we lost to Verstappen. So we're going to be on course here to take provisional P1, and yeah, we're now going to just take a cool down lap to recharge the battery as we go first, and we're going to go again. So you can see visibly, literally just a couple of minutes after, the track has dried significantly more. The line is way more visible, and the rain has just eased off a little bit, and we straight away recover those 0.2 that we lost before, plus we find even more time. So we're going to find 0.3 in the first sector straight away, which is a really strong start. We keep it moving, heading through turn 4. We find another 1/10 of a second, and yeah, we're north of 0.4 up as we head into the middle sector. We went purple through there. We found even more time, and yeah, we're now going to finish a lap and basically move the goalpost by 0.7. Sonoda's gone P2, Antonelli's gone P5, but we set a new benchmark, and with 2.5 minutes to go, the AI are heading out on track for their final laps. We've only got fuel for this lap, so this is going to be our last attempt, and we need to make it count. So already we are 1/10 of a second up. We are going to hit some traffic that aren't out laps. There's only a couple of cars left up the road, an Audi and I think a Renault further along the road, and I think a Haas just here. So only a couple of cars that we have to clear, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, we're already 1/10 up, heading now into the middle part of the lap, the middle sector here. Bortoletto, the home hero in the Audi, is ahead of us, and we do find a big chunk of time there through the hairpin. We'll see if Gabriel gets to the side of the road. He does. Let us by. Thank you very much. As we are 4/10 up, heading through, is that Pico de Pato, second hairpin? Now 4/10 up as we get the power down, heading down the hill into Junstao. And now important here to really set up the exit. A little bit of rear locking as we go purple again. And once more, we are going to move the goalpost. And I'm pretty certain at this point we are well over a second quicker, maybe even a second and a half quicker than P2, Yuki Tsunoda, and everybody else below. So we're going to set the benchmark, and we're going to hope as we run out of fuel, that is enough with a minute to go. So qualifying finished, and we finished in P4. Tsunoda, Piastri, Antonelli actually out-qualified us, but Norris, Verstappen and Leclerc did not. Leclerc's not even in the top 14. Now, the reason for this is actually because Antonelli, Piastri, Tsunoda were at the back of the queue. They were the last cars to start a lap. Thus, they got the best track conditions and were able to set the best time in those drier conditions. So yeah, overall, job well done. We out-qualified Lando Norris and Max Verstappen, so job done for us. Carlos Sainz is P8, so both cars in points-paying positions, so we'll take it. Either way, that's the shootout finished, and we're going to get into the sprint race, which should be contested in dry conditions.
Forget pit stops, forget fuel management. It's pedal to the metal all the way here as we get ready for today's sprint. Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks for today's sprint. Yuki Tsunoda lines up on pole position, and Oscar Piastri completes the front row. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Antonelli, Gasly, Lando Norris and Verstappen, Albon, Sainz, Russell and Isaac Hadjar, Crawford, Ocon, Jack Doohan and Lawson, Behrman, Leclerc, Gabriel Bortoletto and Pepe Marti, Stroll, Aaron, Colapinto and Dennis Hauger rounds off the grid. And with preparations almost complete, let's head trackside for today's sprint.
So, time for the sprint. I've opted for mediums, and that's because I don't think I can run the softs. Even though that's what the game wanted me to do and the AI are doing, we're going to overheat them. So we're going to do our own strategy. Now, Leclerc, of course, is out of position, so we'll see how he gets on. For us, though, we just need to beat our rivals. Right, let's get to it. Showtime, part 1, Brazil, sprint race. Lights on. And we're underway. Everyone trying to move over. It's a good start. Just got to be careful here at turn 1. It's all going to be quite tight. We're going to go around the outside of Lando Norris here. We've got a bit of a run on Antonelli as well, so we're going to try and move up. Although we don't have a slipstream, we're going to box Antonelli in. Down the inside of turn 4, we leave space. Antonelli holds on as we race up towards the double right-hander. Around the outside we go. Lovely move. Kept it nice and tight. Didn't allow Antonelli much room. And that puts the car between us and Lando Norris. Now, Leclerc, of course, way out of position today. But Lando's the one we need to try and start taking some points away. That's a big mistake, though. Line up the rears there. We're going to have to fight early on. Tyres not fully up to temperature just yet. Right, out of the last corner. Up the hill. Straight line speed test. But yeah, we're going to have to fight early on here against these soft tyre runners. We are pulling away from Antonelli a little bit.
Okay, DRS is now available.
Right, we're going to have to defend from DRS here. Critical to get a decent exit out of turn 2, which I feel like we kind of did. We've got a little bit of a cushion over Kimi, so we're going to be fine, I think, to hold on to this. Impossible for me to get DRS on Piastri, so we're going to be defending against Antonelli again. This time he's going to have DRS. Top 2 battling as we use everything. Antonelli, though, goes through quite convincingly, so we'll let him have it for now. We'll get DRS to the next straight. Just got to make sure we stay ahead of Norris. Using every last bit of the battery. Here comes Lando. Down the inside, we give him a bit of a squeeze. Didn't want to make it easy for him. And now we try and charge. We'll just kind of sit behind Antonelli for now and use the McLarens against each other. It's raining. What? It's raining. The forecast was dry on the pre-race monitor. About a sketchy exit there. And I might have just lost DRS. We're on the wrong tyre. And I don't have DRS. Oh my god. Okay, well, we'll let Norris go tactically here. But it's raining. That wasn't in the forecast. I'm pretty certain. So that has changed things quite a bit in this one. So I'm going to get some inters ready.
Okay, dry seem like the best tyre for now.
Wow, okay. I mean, I don't mind. Qualifying looked pretty good for us in the wet conditions around here, so that might be a good thing for us. At the minute, we don't really have the pace. We have managed to stay within Norris's DRS. Verstappen's lurking, but we are a little bit off the pace right now.
10 minutes left of this rain, then we think it's going to dry up. 10 minutes.
Ooh. Okay, so it's only a short shower. Mickey Mouse rain is what I call it. Will it be enough to make us go onto an Inter? At the minute, the track feels fine. I suddenly feel like I have more pace than at least the 2 McLarens. Like, they're really slow here. As we pass Lando, I've just got way more performance in these kind of mixed conditions. Antonelli's struggling for grip, so I'm not sure if the McLarens are struggling or if it's a whole kind of grid thing, but we've got way more pace right now. Look at this. There's way more performance in the car. Grip, traction, so we're just going to push on and move back up into P3 and see if we can try and claw back the top 2. If we could, that would be huge. And if it does dry out, we're on the right tyre to have, you know, a bit of rubber left at the end. So let's push on here. But we can definitely drop the McLarens. We're already pulling away. So let's race. We can win this now suddenly, pace-wise. The race has just turned.
The track is clear. Green flag.
I think we've had a spinner. We've had a spinner and Piastri pits. I'm really surprised. Like, suddenly we have way more pace than everybody. We are flying on this tyre right now. There are other cars in. Sainz does stay out. I hope he stays out, but I fear everyone's going to end up boxing for Inters. But there's still grip on the dry. I mean, don't get me wrong, it is fading, but there's enough grip that I'm wondering if we try and take this to the end.
The tyre situation's pretty touch and go right now. We think the slicks may still be quicker, but it's very close, and you're going to struggle to keep them in the temperature window. The Inters are ready for whenever you need them.
Around the outside of Yuki. I've got more confidence. The issue is, I wonder if you're going to overheat the medium in these conditions. Or sorry, the intermediate. Although I will say the medium, it does feel like it's fading. I'll go one more lap. Hopefully Sainz pits. That's what I'm hoping for.
Okay, the stewards have now disabled DRS. DRS is now disabled.
It feels okay. It feels manageable. There we go. Sainz is in. That's good. So we don't have to stack. Ooh, that didn't feel great. That did not feel great. But we still have a significant gap. Norris is staying out, which I don't like. We could try and take this to the end, but I think it's a lot of risk and it's only going to get worse. We've got enough of a gap to Ocon that I think we can box for the Inter here and probably rejoin ahead of Tsunoda, Piastri in what is the net race lead. So we're going to box on this lap and play it safe because I'm not so confident now the dry is going to make it 2 more laps. So we're going to just bring her in nice and gently. Nothing rash. We're in a good position here. I'm hoping Norris will pit as well. If he stays out, we'll catch him. At this point, the Inter is now going to be the much faster tyre. So I can see Piastri. He's right behind Ocon. So this is going to be close on pit exit. We need a good stop here. This has to be good. Lando stays out. It's slow. Every time we need a good stop, it's slow. 4.7, that's horrific. That might just put us behind Piastri now because of that.
That was our last stop. No more scheduled pit stops. Let's go.
Here we go. We're racing a pit exit. Ocon and Piastri are right there. We're going to have the shorter line, but Piastri moves through and goes up ahead of us. So we're going to have to pass him on track. That slow stop cost us. We've seen that before. Yeah, Lando P1 right now, but the intermediate is the tyre to be on. The question is, can we catch him one lap? This is going to be shades of Alonso at Spa 08 as we go around the outside of Piastri. We're going to get the inside for the hairpin and just beat Oscar out to the apex. That was huge. We're going to go around the outside of George Russell here. We've got way more grip. And I think we will catch Lando over the next lap or so. The intermediate is just faster. It's the right time. I think we've done the right strategy by staying out as long as we did. It worked out fine. We managed to overcut Piastri and Tsunoda just to let us down. Yeah, you can see the gap's coming down to Lando here. It's free falling, so we are going to move up. It's 100% intermediates. Piastri's going to also move up with us. Hopefully Piastri can get Norris. That would be huge for the championship. Any point that we can recover on Lando at this stage is gold, so we really need that. Signs in. That's weird. Did he box on a set of dries?
Carlos is in for his stop now.
When he pit before, one of you put dries on again, and now he's pitting him for Inters. If so, that's a stupid call, and that's going to hurt us in the constructors, but it is what it is. I don't know if Piastri's going to catch Norris, but we certainly are. As we now head into the middle sector, this is where all the lap time is, and we're just going to eat into Lando's lead. You can just see how much quicker we are now at this stage. Final lap of the sprint. We just need to get this pass done for the win, and there it is. So perfect strap, perfect sprint. Made the wrong tyre choice, but I swear there was no red in the forecast. If there was, that was a massive blunder from me, but we'll take it. Job done. Piastri, I don't think is going to make it, but we get the job done, and we win the sprint with Pierre. So it's a great start to the weekend here in Brazil, and we do exactly what we needed to do for the championship. Lovely.
Yes, and that's a podium. Excellent drive. The whole team have worked especially hard this weekend, and that, my friend, is a fantastic reward. Well done.
So confirmation, unfortunately Piastri didn't get Norris, he finished half a second back, but still we get the win and that is all that matters. So good day in the office. McLaren do get a 2-4, which isn't great. That's a decent bit of points for them in the constructors. Also Sonoda P5 in the end. What else? Verstappen gets the final point in P8, not the best sprint from him. Leclerc finishes down in P13, and of course Carlos Sainz on a 2-stop, finishing right at the very back. So yeah, the worst possible scenario. There's some drivers who've done a no-stop, 0-stopper. Some drivers done a 1, and some drivers did a 2. But yeah, that was your lot for the sprint. If we quickly browse the standings heading into the main qualifying and main race, Lando has one hand on the championship. I really think it's impossible now. 106 with Pierre. We've got 3 races to go, 4 if you include the one we're going to do right now. So there's 100 points up for grabs, plus the sprint in Qatar. So simply put, if we want to fight for the championship, we have to outscore Norris in the main race and we stay in the fight. I don't know the exact calculations, I just know if we finish out here in the race, that will keep us in the fight. So yeah, 1 race at a time. In the constructors, you can see McLaren move ahead. Then our second, we are back to P3. The gap though is 18 points. Things are super tight, super close. And this one will go down to Abu Dhabi. So yeah, let's get to qualifying. And then we'll get into the main race.
It's a Saturday showdown. Anyone fancy some hot laps around Interlagos? It's qualifying day here for the Sao Paulo Grand Prix.
Right, on track then for the qualifying session. Purple first sector, personal best middle of course, as we don't have a reference time yet, but the purple first is legit. And now heading to the line we go, getting kind of really my feet wet for the first time with soft tyres on qualifying fuel, because even in practice we didn't really run the softs, so this is kind of a new experience for us.
Fastest lap at the moment, 1 minute, 04.6.
We actually only go a 10th off P1 and we're currently 4th, so we are very closely knit in that lead group. Now Piastri almost has contact with us. We let him go, he's not flashing, so I'm assuming he's finishing a lap, but in reality he's actually starting one. So what I thought was me letting him go to try and get a cheeky slipstream ended up backfiring, so I don't want to be stuck behind a Ferrari, so I ended up backing out, letting him go. And we're going to go once again. We have just enough fuel, and you can see on the second lap we weren't really improving, actually, to my surprise. There was a little bit of time lost through the center S. We gained some of that back, but overall no big mistakes, just didn't go quicker. So I feel we've kind of maybe hit our strongest possible pace. So you can see here, look how close the field is. P1 to P8 is less than 3/10. And yeah, things are really competitive. Now, Leclerc's on track, and he actually goes straight to the top. A 104.1. That suddenly sets a new benchmark and moves the goalpost quite a bit with that time. You can see he's really shaking it up. So really strong time from Charles. There's almost half a second gap to P2. So really, that's a massive opportunity to get a front row if we can fall into that gap. So we're going to get our final lap in qualifying started, and we're going to look to improve and try and find about half a second somehow. So through the center S, we are not going quicker here. We get a better exit, but the entry wasn't as strong. Down towards turn 4 into the Cida de Lago. 4th gear, no, we go 5th. We take a bit too much of an inside cut and we invalidate. But there is about enough time to just get around, and we'll go for one more attempt. So let's send it, and let's see how we do on this all or nothing lap. Right, I'll take it. Decent lap. I don't think there was a ton wrong with that. That was pretty damn decent. So we'll take it. Second place, front row start. Leclerc's previous lap was enough to get pole by some margin. And really the big takeaway is here. Carlos Sainz, P13. Very disappointing. All of our rivals are in and around where we are, to be honest. But yeah, just Carlos letting us down a little bit in the constructors fight. And then, of course, the big surprise is kind of Albon, Piastri out-qualified by both Renault Alpines in the top 7, looking very strong. Tsunoda down in P10 as well for the constructors fight. But both McLarens are right there, and Lando is right there. So this one could be yet another close race. Either way, we're going to get stuck in and see how we do. And yeah, we're going to get into the main event here at Brazil and hopefully, once again, get a big result, just like in the sprint. It's time for the Brazilian Grand Prix.
Formula One returns to Interlagos once again with the stage set for what promises to be another classic Sao Paulo Grand Prix. Sebastian Vettel famously clinched his 3rd championship here in 2012, and just 4 years later, Max Verstappen treated us to one of the finest wet weather drives of all time. It's time to take a look at our starting grid for today's race. A fantastic effort from Charles Leclerc yesterday, and it's put him on pole. And it's Pierre Gasly in P2. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Norris, Antonelli, George Russell, and Colapinto, Doohan, Albon, Piastri, and Yuki Tsunoda, Ocon, Lawson, Jack Crawford, and Verstappen, Behrman, Stroll, Gabriel Bortoleto, and Paul Aaron, Pepe Marti, Hauger, Sainz, and Isaac Hadjar rounds off the grid. Now it's almost time for lights out, so let's go down to the track.
Now, I want to do a short intro because there's a few things we need to address. Now, based off the sprint qualifying or the sprint shootout and also the sprint race, the rain seems to be our strongest asset and strongest element this weekend. I think we're quicker in the wet than in the dry. So I'm going to take a strategy risk with the rain in mind. So we have rain at the end of the race. Therefore, if the forecast is to be accurate, I'm going to go and start on the hard tyres and see if we can go straight to inters and make it a one-stop, but doing hard inter. Essentially saving stops and just trying to prioritise track position. This could backfire horribly, but I feel like we need to go all in the championship to try and give Pierre a shot at the drivers. Now, for the fuel, I've got a little bit less than what the practice simulations ran because we have that rain at the end. So we're ready to go. I think we can do this. I'm confident. The only issue is the hard tyre. I think it's going to take us a good 5 to 6 laps to really get running. Once we get past those first 5-6 laps, I think we're going to be quite quick and competitive. So I'm willing to let some cars go, including Norris, so that we can hopefully stay in the race and get the hard tyre to work nicely. So let's get to it. Excellent formation lap. We've got tyre temperature, which is going to be a real nice bonus for this one. Now, granted, that doesn't mean we're going to be quick, but it just means it'll make our race start a bit less painful. Right, let's settle in, let's get ready. This one's going to be critical. It's showtime. Main event time. Lights on. Great start on the hard tyre, really good start. Down the inside, Leclerc tries to re-challenge the long way around. We'll just cut across at turn 2 and commit to the corner. Lando down to 4th, which we love. Now, I don't think we'll hold this. It's good that we've got a few cars on mediums behind. It means they're not going to be super quick. I expect it, to be fair, everyone in the top 10 to start on softs and do a scheduled soft-medium strategy. So, cars being on mediums is a bit of a genuinely good surprise, which I'll accept. It means we can hopefully be a bit more competitive than I expected on this tyre. So yeah, I won't make things too hard for the AI to pass, but obviously I don't want to drop through the field entirely. So let's see if we can try and manage. The longer we hold the lead, the better. But you can see Leclerc is already giving me the hurry up here. I think we'll try and, maybe just let Leclerc go here tactically so that we get DRS for the next straight. That could be a good little game plan.
DRS now enabled. DRS enabled.
And we can start to see if we can hold on and let Leclerc pull us along here. We've got a decent bit of charge, so let's try and use it wisely. Oh, Leclerc's all over the shop at the minute. Overdriving, pushing hard it seems. But we've got DRS, and that's great. So a good start for us, although Antonelli is all over the back of us right now. We have plenty of charge to keep him behind. Okay, good stuff. Leclerc purple, but we're right there. He's pulling us along. This is exactly what I was hoping for. And so far, it's being executed to perfection. We're under no pressure from behind. This is going really well. We've got a gap as well. Russell's the last car of this 5-car lead breakaway. So this is going to be a race right here. I'll say that. Wait.
Green flag. Okay, we've got a full course caution. The safety car's out. Keep an eye on the delta. We need to keep it positive to avoid a penalty. Slow down. Maintain positive delta.
Right, Antonelli.
Information on Antonelli. Okay, it looks like the problem's terminal. They're retiring the car.
Not sure it was a DNF from a mechanical. I think maybe he lost the car out of turn 4. I think he might have lost the car. Either way, safety car. A very rare safety car. Obviously, no need to box. We can stick with these. These tyres are pretty durable. You can see we've got 10%. So I think we're going to be okay. Right, safety car in this lap. Just trying to get a last bit of tyre temp. Won't be long till Leclerc goes for it.
Okay, recommend staying out during this safety car. Our tyres are still good and it's not worth risking the track position. Stay out.
Right, we'll let Leclerc take the lead again. So same run plan as he locks up into turn 1. We're just going to kind of use him to follow and drag along until we kind of notice the hard tyres, the better compound, then we can try and do something about it. We've now got Lando for company. He's gained the position, of course, from Antonelli's DNF, so let's manage. No word on rain yet. I just asked on the radio a moment ago, and there's no update, so still waiting to hear an update from that, just to see if the strategy is viable, because if that rain actually isn't accurate, and it's even later than forecast, then we'll likely revert to the traditional strategy and box around lap 20 for a set of mediums.
Okay, expect to see some rain about 10 to 15 minutes from now.
There it is. That's what I'm looking for. This looks good so far. Really good on strategy. I'm really impressed. This might work out perfectly.
DRS has been enabled. DRS is now enabled.
And that's fine. Lando can try, but he won't get through. This race is looking very good. Ooh. A little bit eager there on the overtake. As the clouds start to form around the track. Oh, another one. Okay. Easy. Easy, easy. Lando is right on us now, so we're going to have to be careful. I don't want to overheat the hard tyres. That's one thing I want to avoid at all costs. We've got enough battery to cover off Norris here, so we're all good. I've lost full feedback. We've had this before, where I can't even fix it. Like, I go into the settings. Like, I've already done this before. I've tried to turn the wheel off and on, but I've lost full feedback and I can't seem to get it to work again. So I'm just gonna have to try and figure this out in real time and kind of adapt. But my wheel has nothing at the minute, no feeling. It's completely weightless. Okay, I've got it back. I've managed to fix the issue. Finally found a solution, which is great. So just closing all the processes on my PC seems to do the trick. On Task Manager, everything, not just the program, but also all the services, and restarting everything. So happy days. Ooh, Russell's gone through on Norris. I did see Norris do something strange a lap ago or 2 laps ago, where I think he tries to go around my outside at double right-hander or something.
Tyre condition still looking good.
And by doing so, just puts himself off track. So Russell this time, I think, seeing that a lap ago, has read it well and now has actually got through and moved up. So Norris loses a place, which I'll gladly accept. Right, these guys should be in pretty soon now. This is more or less their scheduled pit stop lap, especially for the likes of George Russell. So I'm waiting to see when they box. But it won't be long now. Russell does pit. So the medium runners might just go this lap or one more, but this is more or less their window. It's getting darker here, slowly but surely. That rain is arriving. Bit of a mistake there from us as we get the turn 2 exit a bit wrong. Lando's there, but we should be okay to keep this covered with the battery charge. And there we go. Leclerc heads in, so does Lando. So we're going to be left on our own.
We're approaching the pit window, and you're going to be on mediums.
Now we can go to the Inters. We have a decent enough tyre wear that we can go to around lap 28 max, I'd say, before we maybe get at puncture risk.
Carlos is in the pits.
Also, Sainz has been nowhere this week, and I'm hoping he's been stuck in traffic. He can undercut his way into a bit of glory right now with this pit stop. We're now left to our own to basically manage our race. Right, 107.1 from Norris. That's the sort of pace they're running at right now. That's fine. That's absolutely fine.
We're expecting some rain soon. Expect the first drops in the next few minutes.
There it is, earlier than forecast. Here we go. It's raining, and I'm glad it is because we actually weren't doing too great. Lando is flying at the minute, absolutely flying. He's pulled away from Russell on mediums. That's insane. So yeah, I'm glad this has happened now because we were struggling.
Okay, conditions are going to keep deteriorating for 10 minutes at least. Okay, dries seem like the best tyre for now.
These conditions are not really deteriorating that much. I mean, this is a very slow transition. Lando is within 5 seconds. He's flying still. And the conditions may be dropping, but there doesn't seem to be any drop-off with the AI, unlike in the sprint. So yeah, Lando's getting very close here. Tyre wear icon is on, and it seems now suddenly that AI have hit a brick wall with their pace 1 lap later. So the same thing that happened in the sprint is now just happening again. So we're starting to find pace again in these kind of mixed conditions. So we're not far out. Again, I'm looking out for Carlos. Hopefully he can box sooner rather than later.
Carlos is in for his stop now.
That's perfect. We've actually got Marty all over the back of us. Look, and I think he's on the Inters, so I think it's probably time for the switch.
Okay, we can't take you right now. Pit next lap. Next lap.
Carlos has been in, so we're going to get to box now. We should be fine. So, in we go.
Pit box is currently full. Stay out on track. Stay out.
It just isn't full though, is it? There we go, the RS disabled. We've already got the Inter selected. Double check, there it is. Right, this has worked out perfectly. So, we're going to finish with 63 wear on the right rear, so good strategy gamble to go with the hard tyre start. And now we switch to Inter. We need a good stop here for once. Come on, big pressure.
DRS has been disabled. Wait for further updates.
And there we go, lovely. I think Lando got held as well.
Pit strategy complete. See these tyres through to the end now.
Right, let's just get back on track, readapt to the conditions, and bring her home. We've got 7 laps left. So all we have to do is not make any big mistakes, and we're home and dry. The only issue is it looks like Lando's going to get a P2, so he's doing everything he can to give away the least amount of points possible. Here we go then. Nice, smooth, easy intermediate stint. No dramas, just kept it on track. The rain eventually really fell down in the end, but we kept our cool, managed it well, and we are going to come through for the double. Sprint and race win, and we pick up maximum points and do the best we can to keep the championship alive.
Oh, you worked hard for that one. Congratulations. Well done.
Sacre bleu! Pierre Gasly has destroyed the opposition. Pierre Gasly wins.
To witness such mastery of these conditions, these changeable conditions that we saw today, is very impressive indeed. So a huge congratulations to this driver for taking victory today.
Well, it's been a long wait for many of our drivers, but the wait is always worth it. Bring them out to the awaiting crowd. It's time for our podium celebrations. And only one can take that top spot. Today, it's Pierre Gasly's.
there we go then. Race results confirmed. Pierre Gasly wins in Brazil. Carlos Sainz, driver of the day, but only P11 and does not finish in the points, which is disappointing. A really poor weekend from Carlos. Again, really not what you want to see. But overall, let's talk about the weekend as a whole. So, obviously Lando, P2 in both sprint and race, damage limitation. Russell up there. Leclerc started on pole, finished P4. Disappointing from him, to be honest. And also, obviously, his sprint wasn't the best. So yeah, the Ferrari's definitely struggling this weekend with Leclerc P4 and Piastri P6. So if we head to the driver standings with, I believe, 3 rounds to go plus a sprint, now it's official. We can no longer win the championship with Pierre Gasly. It's going to be between Leclerc and Norris. There is currently, to my math, 75 points for 3 race wins, plus the Qatar sprint, which is an extra 8 points, which is 83 points up for grabs. So only Leclerc can fight for the championship, and yeah, Lando can win it next time out in Las Vegas. So that is going to be it for our Drivers' Championship push. So we'll resume activities with Carlos Sainz next race to make sure Piastri does not finish ahead of him. Now, in the Constructors, this is where things get interesting. We are now 13 points behind. McLaren are right there. Things are the closest they've been all season long, and this battle will go all the way to Abu Dhabi. So, guys, hopefully you enjoyed it. That's going to be it for this episode. If you enjoyed, leave a like, subscribe for more. Let's try and smash 500 likes. And yeah, as always, guys, on screen you're going to have the fallout from that one. In the meantime, a massive shout out to my channel members for supporting all the videos, all the content on the channel. And yeah, cheers guys for watching. I'll see you next time. Take care, and that's goodbye from me. Check out the 2 videos on screen, and I'll see you soon. Grazie. Ciao, ciao.